Hey, good morning. Ravi here, and we will start live stream in another 1 minute. All right. So, good morning, and today is August 29th, Thursday, and time is at about 8:31 actually. So, let me quickly share my screen. So, before 1 second. All right. So yesterday there was a big event in US, which was Nvidia results, and hey, good morning, Sadhanandan. Um, so I was obviously morning when I woke up, I was tracking, and the results were good. But however, I think it did not. It was not in line to the expectations of the market. I'm not expecting there is going to be massive impact today, but these results were announced after market hours in US. I think they were at about 4 p.m. in EST time zone. So apparently, in the day, Nvidia fell by about 3%, I think. And then let me talk about the results to start with, right? So because these results are very crucial. The reason is Nvidia is right now one of the biggest company, mainly with the Gen AI and then the artificial intelligence and the GPU data center. Some of these things are emerging technologies, and also a lot of Indian companies, they do have partnership with this company. So which means that IT companies rather. So any results there, bad results would definitely impact Indian IT services, if not other companies. So good news is the revenues are up by about revenues are actually about $30 billion, which is a quarterly revenue. Technically, if you multiply with four, it will become more than 100 billion, 120 or 130. But interestingly, the this revenue is up almost by 15% in the compared to last quarter, and also more than 100% up, which is 122% up from last year same quarter, which was I was looking at the numbers, it was almost like 13.5 billion USD compared to that current at about 30 billion. So the numbers are really good. And data center revenue alone, which is obviously the core business of Nvidia, is close to about 26.3 billion, again up by about 16%. And compared to last quarter, it is close to 1.5 times more, which is definitely great news. However, the stock did not react quite well, right? So yesterday, as I said, it was down by 2.1%, and this was until 4 o'clock. So results were announced at about 4 p.m. So as soon as the results were announced, Nvidia fell down quite drastically. So because already market is closed, but then the impact would be there tomorrow, if not today. But again, tomorrow is our Friday, which is going to be Sensex, I think, monthly expiry. But today is Nifty monthly expiry, so we would be probably a lot more keen to see what is happening today rather than tomorrow. I think that's about Nvidia. And then yesterday, if you look at FA and then DI, FA in fact is a net seller, and DI is a net buyer. I think this is yesterday Nifty was pretty stable. while when I say pretty stable, probably may not be the right statement. There was definitely some volatility, but however, Nifty, I think it was up by just 0.14% yesterday, while it tried to reach all-time high, but it not sustain. But I think in a moment we will also look at the charts very quickly. Let me unshare my screen and then share one more screen. Just give me 30 seconds. All right. So let's look at Nifty very carefully because today is monthly expiry. In fact, last month expiry was on 25th. 25th is holiday, so it must be 24th Wednesday. If any of you can, one of you check and then let me know. I think I see 25th is holiday. It must be 24th or 25th, one of those days. But let's look at here. So this is Nifty. Yeah, it is 25th. Sorry, 25th July was the day. So after 25th, there was definitely an up move, 26th, and then pretty much let me get rid of some of these lines to reduce the noise there. I will also remove this for now and I'll draw this later. And I'll remove all these lines. We'll come back this to a little later. All right, so this is where it is, right? So last expiry was apparently it closed at about closing was at about 24,406, so which is a quite massive number. And then currently it is hovering at about 25,000. If you really look at MACD, MACD is showing some definitely some bit of a bullishness, and then definitely RSI is also at about 65, which is not overbought, but it's a definitely bullish range. So these two are showing bullishness, and also overall trend for Nifty. When I say overall trend, not necessarily today, but overall trend, market trend is also showing bullish, and this bullishness started back in. I mean, this is 100 days chart, right? So I think from definitely April 2024, it did not really turn back. So I think that is definitely positive news. So again, I repeat, MACD and then RSI both are showing some bit of a bullishness, and also, as I said, compared to the previous expiry, it is close to about 500 points up. So that is also a good news. And the peak it went yesterday, in fact, was peak. And if I put the cursor here, the peak was 25,129, but apparently that did not sustain. And yesterday, I think it could be some bit of a manipulation as well, because there is a bank nifty expiry. That could be the reason. And so that's why it is. And interestingly, yesterday, day before yesterday, both were, I would say, very similar to dozy candle. They're not like textbook dozy, but then definitely they are indecisive. So yesterday, day for yesterday also indecisive, but yesterday also indecisive. So, but only thing is this body is a little stronger compared to the previous day, which means that there is. But then if you look at the wicks are pretty much similar, so which I would still consider as indecisive. So today anything can happen. One needs to be careful with the 24,961, which is yesterday's low, and then also need to be careful about 25,133, which was yesterday's high as well. I think those are all the numbers that I would track today. However, let me go to my position. So overnight positions yesterday, I made some money, but then obviously um, yesterday was quite volatile day, right? So these are all the overnight positions that I carried from yesterday. Again, this today's plan is to not to do much of a manipulation error, sorry, too much of an adjustment here. And as soon as, let's say, if now it is 1.73, right? If it opens below 1 lakh, maybe I would 1 lakh loss rather. I would exit all the trades and then take some time and then do a fresh trade. That is one thought process. But then suddenly, if I get into green, I will have some time to play around. So I can take some risk and then I will wait until markets get stabilized. So Gift Nifty is suggesting flattish to bearish, and again, it's giving mixed signal, right? So we can't really trust Gift Nifty at this point of time. But let the market open and then take a call. But as I said, my strategy is if I go back here, right? So I think I'll remove the buy position. So I'm very tightly on a tightrope, to be honest, right? So downside is about 0.6%, and then upside is only 0.5%. So which is on a tightrope. But let's say if Nifty opens even the flat or flat, I think it's okay. I would say if it opens flat, this mostly would be, I would think it'll probably become zero, if not green, and massive green rather. Maybe it will be 10,000 profit here and there. But then if it is a downward trend, I'm still okay. The reason was I do have more positions on C and less positions on less quantity on P, so I will be able to manage. If it is a gap up, also I'm fine. So gap up, I'm not expecting 100 points up, especially with the Nvidia kind of news. IT stocks will have some bit of a beating, I hope. And yeah, I think, as I said, I will probably stay with flat to bearish today, at least being an expiry day. Let me look at open interest. Open interest as of yesterday, the PCR is about 1.11, which is definitely bullish, and this particular one, which is 2500, seems to be massive resistance, sorry, massive support. So, but then this can anytime break. So this is got about put about 89, and then the call is at about 85, I think. But then there was some bit of an unwinding yesterday. So call was 61, and then put was 89. Put, in fact, Y total Y is about 1.04. Yeah, total Y is 1.04. So yesterday's change was 14. So I think this is my view, quite stronger support. But then as I said, as soon as the market opens, people might probably go for cover, so that can happen. But then if it breaks from OI perspective, the next immediate support is 24900. So that is definitely here. And then if this also breaks, 24800. So there is very low probability that it's going to break this number. But then being a expiry day, typical expiry days are quite volatile, right? So somebody needs to be quite careful. And on the top side, 25100 seems to be definitely a good resistance. Yeah, and then 25200, obviously the next immediate resistance. So right now, my positions are at 25150, somewhere in the middle, and then 25950, which is a lot more closer to the probably where Nifty might open. But as I said, I will be able to manage this quite well. So, and then today my plan is I will use some capital for Nifty, and then I will also do some trades on Sensex. And these trades on Sensex, I would probably keep it CU only. The reason is tomorrow, because Nvidia has announced not so great results, I would expect some impact to IT stocks. And the IT stocks, imagine that they do not really react negatively today. I'm still okay. But then if they react negatively, then I can feel that tomorrow is going to be a negative day. And also Nifty is at the peak as of now. So again, we can't really get all-time highs pretty much every day. So I think that is the logic there. So today, what I'll do is, from the Sensex perspective, I will keep selling 8300, and then obviously I'll have some hedge here. I will not make a lot of money, but at least I'll be able to protect the portfolio to some extent. So that's the main intention. And let's say if I see some downward trend, and then if Sensex reaches about 81500, I will be very safe to really go to 8500. So that's the plan for today. Let's also look at today intraday, definitely 15 minutes candle, and then see what is in store. All right, so now I will draw some lines and then vertical. All right. So this is actually showing again 15 minutes is obviously uptrend, and also the 100 SMA is also was not broken. So I would think it's bullish, but the MACD is actually showing some bit of a bearishness, but then there could be let's see if there is going to be some recovery, and RSI is also showing some bit of a bullishness, sorry, bearishness. I think that's where we are. Let me also check if we get any other good correlation in the other time frames, and then see if they make any sense. And 20 minutes seems to be okay. I will probably stay with 20 minutes, and 20 minutes also it's showing about 25 below 25 200. I think overall, I'm sure it's going to be definitely a volatile day, but yeah, if you're doing any options, I would suggest you to play very carefully. So 20 minutes, in fact, is in the histogram is actually showing that there is a bit of a weakness in the bullishness. So as soon as the market opens, depending on the gap up or gap down, some of these things probably might change. And also one more important thing, because it's a expiry day, most of the indicators would not work, including the open interest. So we'll have to just to go with the price and then see. And ideally on an expiry day, I would suggest to do spreads rather than strangles or the straddles. That way you will be able to have a fixed loss and fixed profit. And Sensex also, let's have a look at very quickly. Sensex also overall showing upward trend. All right. About 91 and then 21 minutes candle, and tomorrow is the expiry, right? So 1 second. Friday, Friday. All right, here. So I think it is showing 82,500 right now. But as the market opens, I will see. As of now, as I said, Sensex, I will only start with 83,000, selling 83,000 obviously. And then once I make some money, I hope, and I will probably change that. So I think that's all the market outlook at this point of time. And if you're trading on Nifty, I still suggest be very, very cautious. And then usually expiry days are not the days where you would put automated SLs and then try to exit it, because the spikes would be quite brutal. So usually your SLs would be hit in first 10-15 minutes itself. So do not do that. And if you're doing a trade, ideally it should be a spread rather than a net seller, net buyer, whatever. I think that's all from my end, and I think we got another few minutes to get the market open. And I'm happy to take any questions if you have, but otherwise we'll wind up. I'll stay for another 2 to 3 minutes if you have any questions. All right then. I do not see any questions. So okay, 1 second, please, sir. So let's do spreads, how to manage. Premiums are too less to do spreads. So, Kranti Prasad. So, spread, what I meant is, I'm sure you were also aware what is a spread. I don't think I need to explain. But then let's say I would probably do, let's say, sell and then buy this and then keep quiet. While the risk reward is not very favorable, but then the probability of profit is about 93%, right? So, this is what I meant. So obviously I would not expect you to go and then put all your money, but then let's see, even if you do 10 lots here, right? So 10 lots here, and then the way which I would probably operate with the spreads is the here it's actually showing about 2,300 as a potential profit with a 93%. But then let's say at some point of time, if I reach a loss of about let's say double to this or whatever the ratio, right? 1:5 if you put. So 2,300 1:5 would be um, close to about 3,500 or so. As soon as I reach there, I will exit the trade and then keep quiet, and then probably I might do one more spread to neutralize that number. But otherwise, the spreads are not meant to wait till the eventuality would happen, right? So I would not expect you to get into for a 1 lakh margin. I do not want to lose 10,000, which is about 10%, which doesn't make sense. But as I said, take look at this profit and then put either 1.5 or 2 times. As soon as that reaches as a loss, you must exit, or even you can also put 1:1. As soon as you reach 2,000 losses, you can definitely exit, but never wait till the accident to happen, the full accident to happen. So that's the only suggestion that I have. Even if you get on the lower side, right? So put side also. Let's say market morning. Let's say if there is a gap down. So usually the gap downs you can always go with the puts. Again, I will take out the word always. So you can mostly go with the puts. And let's say if there is a gap down, right, this 24800 definitely will become, let's say, 12 or 15. And then you go and then do this and then you stay here. So I think this is also fine. And again, risk reward is quite not favorable, but the pop is saying 100%, which probably may not be right. It might change. So it's about, bottom side is about close to 99%. So but then spreads ideally got to be immediate leg. You can't really put too far, because if you put too far, you will end up losing money. Let's do one more. When we see OA data, what is the number indicate? What does that number indicate? 1 second. Let's go to Y. So these are all not lots. So I believe these are all the real shares. Shares in the sense, in terms of this one, it's basically the number of individual contracts that were shared. I think again, I might be wrong, but I never bothered to look at that number. I will. Second. This also doesn't give any data whether it is lots or the. It says the contracts actually. Volume contracts and then open interest. I will have to check. I unfortunately I never bothered to look at that. Let's look at ITC. It doesn't give any information. I will check and then get back to you tomorrow. So we can only do it lots. So ideally, 1 second. I think these guys have lots. It doesn't say anything much. All right, I'll check that. Come back. So my answer is I do not know right now. All right, but anyway, I think why basically not necessarily what is the absolute number, but also some the ratios would really matter, right? So it's very important to look at the ratio between put and then call. So that's a lot more important than anything else. All right, then I think the market is getting open. I need to be a little prepared both psychologically, and then I'll also look at what is happening. And in case if I get time, I will do live trade. But if not, I will see. We will catch up tomorrow, or maybe I might do a video at 3:30. All the best, and have a profitable day, all of you. Bye bye.